Hey, this is Pam Perry, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about how to live the life you deserve from a personal branding standpoint. I always say you should brand your best life. And so it starts with clarity. And so we're going to talk today about how to live the life you deserve by living your best brand life. And so let me give you a little bit of background on me. My name is Pam Perry, and I am a PR coach. I'm a publicist and also the publisher of Speakers Magazine. So I love working with speakers and authors that have a message to share to the world. Now, the reason why I love that is because one, journalism is my major, and I've always been like a media girl. I've worked in radio for about 7 years. I worked for print. I worked for the major daily here in Detroit, Free Press for about 7 years. And I also worked with the Salvation Army for about 7 years. So you kind of do the math. It's like, how old is this lady? Yeah, well, I'm up there. I'm a baby boomer for sure. And one of the things that I want to talk about is that authenticity is key of really how to live the life you deserve. Tapping into your superpower, tapping into your purpose, tapping into really why you do what you do, because wherever that is, that's where your money is going to reside, where the money resides. So where the money resides. And so I'll give you a background or an example of myself of trying to discover my purpose along the way. I call it my Wizard of Oz story, right? You got to have the heart, the brains, and the courage. And starting out, I knew that I was really called for something more, coming from a lower middle class family on the east side of Detroit, the first in my family to ever go to college. Even in high school, I was in the National Honor Society. So I've always just knew education was a key. So graduated from college, go on to, majoring in college in journalism and public relations. And then while I was there, I won some fellowships and scholarships and things like that. Working in ad agencies. At one point in time, I thought I was going to own an ad agency, really not understanding the full breadth of PR, which is what I do today. I've been doing it for about 3 decades, but I majored in public relations and I worked with some PR firms. I remember one day just having the courage, and I was following my heart because, it was like at a certain point in time, it's like you can make more money if you go to law school, if you go to medical school, if you do whatever these professional things are, get a steady job working in government or working as a teacher, nothing wrong with that. But it was not in my heart because the background where I was, that I really, really had just, I guess you'd say, an innate thing that I knew that I love speakers and authors that those had a message and really wanted to promote them. Even as a young person, probably helped that I grew up next door to my pastor. So that could be a part of it. So God would just like sometimes work some things out in our childhood that we don't even realize would have an impact on us later. So as I'm majoring in journalism, getting these fellowships and scholarships and things like that to work for different organizations, I remember just really being excited, being always one of the first ones to be a trailblazer in certain areas. Even in college, I was working with a nonprofit organization, the National Association of Media Women, and I brought them to campus, and they were mentoring the younger people like me. But one of the main things is that when I did graduate, I had a job immediately right away. Actually, a couple of months before I graduated, working in the Detroit Free Press. I was so excited. It's a major daily, and here it is, this 21-year-old girl working here. I'm going to work with my briefcase and my suit on with the little blue tie. Dating myself, right? Workplace casual was not the thing. And I really was decided that, I really love meeting people. And so during the time when I was working in advertising and also doing stories and stringing stories, that I found that just really helping people tell their stories was really what I enjoyed. 7 years later, I finally get up enough courage to leave. And I went to go work with a radio station. And the radio station was so much different, so much fun. I was writing ad copy there as well and doing voiceovers. And so just really just print, radio. And then eventually I started producing TV for a Christian television station there in Detroit. I really enjoyed that as well. And that's when I really found my joy because I was meeting so many different authors. I was booking different authors. And I said, man, they really have their stuff together. And some of them really need their stuff together. And so the ones that needed their stuff together, I would just kind of like, I said, if you really want to get in the show, you need to do this. You probably need to package yourself a little bit better. Little did that know that will be part of my destiny. So the whole point that I'm trying to say is like, how do you find your own brand, your own purpose, your own why? What's driving you? What's pulling you into destiny? Because I'm telling you, if you hide it, you will not be happy. If you decide that you're going to do something just for the money, you won't be happy. You may have money, but you won't be happy. I'm here to tell you because there were certain jobs. I remember working at the radio station and I had to do a lot of what they call like remotes and things like that. And so the remotes would be at bars and just some of the places where I didn't really want to be. And I was like, you know what? I don't like doing this. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing with my little 30-year-old self at that point. I was like, I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. And I said, besides, I'm just selling air. I said, this is like crazy. And I just remember making a decision inside of myself. Also, at the same time, I was working with a nonprofit. I work with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So I always wanted to do something more with meaning. I left all that working in media and went to go work as PR director at the Salvation Army. And there I stayed for about 7 years. And I really enjoyed that work, promoting the message of what they are, doing the human services, writing the stories. And little did I know that at a certain point in time, you'll be faced with decisions of what to do. But I remember running into different people that were authors or speakers. And I just innately would just go into this mode of like, let me help package you. Let me help push you out. Let me call some media contacts that I know because your message needs to be heard. You need to be seen and be more visible. That became like the natural thing to me. Fast forward until now, 21 years later, my company, Ministry Marketing Solutions, I primarily work with speakers. I work with speakers, those that are anointed speakers, I guess you would say. Oh, it's a little kind of fuzzy. Those that are anointed speakers, those people that really have a desire to want to make a difference in people's lives. So I'm here to help those people that want to help the people. And that's been built the road. And so when you want to brand your best life, you have to be authentic. I spoke with someone today that really was conflicted. They have skills and talents and they spend a lot of time and master's degree in doing that thing, but they really weren't, it's like, I took everything off the table. And you hear this, it's like, if you could do anything for free, what would you do? And she told me. I said, so why are you trying to do that other thing? Because I'm getting paid. I said, if you put the focus and the energy on the thing that you love to do, that's where you're going to get paid. Really? Yeah, really. That's what God put inside you. That's the design that he put inside of you because it's pulling you forward to want to do that. And then you're just thinking like, oh, well, that must not be it because it's so easy. It's like breathing. Anything that's like breathing, that's easy for you is the gift that God gave you. So why are you going to fight it? And so when I always tell people, I said, before I can promote you, you have to have direct clarity on who you are. Give me your 2-minute brand narrative. What is it? Who are you called to serve? What is your purpose here? Why are you here? And yeah, we can look at the marketing research and all that, but the innate part of it is like, what is it that wakes you up and say, I just come alive when this happens? And those are the things that when work doesn't feel like work, follow your heart and the money will follow. I'm sure you heard that before. It's true. And so when I started my company 20 years ago, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just knew that I heard from God and inside of me from my gut that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I had the skills of working in radio, TV, print, newspapers, magazines, done all of that, had the skills, had the contacts. And now I wanted to match that with the client to help them get out into the world. So I work with all the mega churches, some of the major pastors, from Bishop T.D. Jakes to Dr. Miles Monroe and people in between. And it's not that they are better than anyone. They're packaged better. Their brand is better and they're more concise. When you think of TD Jakes, you think of a brand. You think of Dr. Miles Monroe, you think of a brand. Creflo Dollar, they have that. It's easier to promote them. When you don't have a brand, I can't refer you. I can't promote you. I can't share your messaging because your message is convoluted. Clarity is key. Clarity is key. So many times people are just trying to figure like, oh, I just want to, I want to reach everybody. I want to say everything. I want to do everything to everybody. And then your message is not going to anyone. If you're trying to reach everybody, you reach nobody. And so you have to have clarity. Now you start with the target and you could build out obviously over time, but you have to start with a niche, and what is it that is in your heart to do first. And what, we never really leave, quote unquote, our first love. If you look into your life as a child, what you did as a child, you love, well, you had no worries about money. You had no worries about time. You had no worries. And it's like, what would you do sitting you in a room? What are you going to do first? What would it be? My husband, what he would do, he would play with cars. What does he do today? Some of his clients are car companies. He loves cars. I don't love cars. For me, I would always be writing and writing. And then actually I would try to create a newspaper and then I would distribute it. So I have a magazine that's 4 years old, Speakers Magazine. You go to speakersmagazine.com, download it for free. Again, promoting African American speakers. It's much joy when you know that you're called to something and you're really doing it. And so I just sit with yourself and really write out all the lists of the things that you have the skills for, and then all the things that you love to do, and see how those two meld. And that's really in the middle of that is like your superpower of the thing you're supposed to do to really brand your best life. Media will call on you, you'll get visibility, you'll get credibility, you'll get clients, you'll get the cash, but you'll also have the fulfillment. And that's so important about having the fulfillment. Because the fulfillment at the end of the day is really the main thing. It's not the cash. It's about what you were here for, did you accomplish? There's a song I keep hearing in my head about Beyonce. I'm not going to sing, but I was here. And the song was called I Was Here. I lived, I loved, I was here. And so that's really the whole point of it. To brand your best life is put your best foot forward, put into motion what it is that why you're here, understand your purpose, promote that, package that, share that, become the gift, and then also to help people on the way. Help other people. As you climb, you pull other people up with you. That's the whole point. When I started my business, I didn't know what I was doing. It took mentors in my life, and people like Dr. George Fraser, people like Marilyn Fritz Hubbard, Helen Love, they're still in my life today. These are my elders. These are the people that I surrounded with. And so I would suggest that always have a coach, always have someone that's going to have your back, someone who will push you and encourage you. I have a program called ReadySetGoSpeak.com. And that program is really like a mentorship program where it helps you through the media. And that's really, I'm clear on that. I help people with media. I don't do a whole lot of other stuff, but is one thing I do know how to do media. That is my jam. Now, there's other stuff, can I build a website, whatever. I know what goes on a website, but I'm not going to try and build a website. So you have to learn how to say no to get to the more yeses in your life. Learn how to say no to get to more yeses in your life. People will say, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. And then you never get to the main thing, what you're really supposed to be doing. Your brand is convoluted. So you don't want a convoluted brand. You want clarity. Clarity equals cash. And that's one of the main things. If clarity equals cash, then you need to get clear. Read some books, take some tapes, get some mentors, take some programs, and quit being on social media all day doing a comparison trap, because that will just really keep you confused. It really will. It'll keep you confused. So for me, I know coming up, I had a lot of stumbles and things like that. And that's why it's really, I want to impart wisdom into people, especially if they want to know about media marketing, PR, and branding. That's the thing I know, flat out no. And I have integrity. So that's one of my values. So you know your values. What is it that you are, what you stand for? And you're going to attract people that have that. You're going to attract people with integrity because you have integrity. If you don't have integrity, you're going to be around shaky people just like you. I'm just saying. That's what I know for real, for real, for real. So I'm Pam Perry. I just enjoyed speaking with you. Live the life you deserve. Learn how to just be authentically you. Sit in who you are meant to be, called to be, who you're called to serve. Work that brand like nobody's business. Work that brand. Let that be your jam. Work that brand. That should be a song. Like work that brand. I got songs in my head. But think about the Beyonce song, I Was Here. So at the end of the day, what will your imprint be? What will it say? I was here. What will they say? What will your brand? One of the things I was a journalism teacher at one point, one of the first assignments I would have my students do is I would have them write their obituary, freak them out. Oh my God. I said, yeah, we're starting with the end and moving backwards. You start at the end and move backwards. So what does your obituary say? What was it? What will it say? I was here. I lived, I love, I made a difference. So you work that into your life, knowing that that's what you wanted to say at the end, then live your life accordingly. It's really simple. I know I had that revelation roughly around 30. And some people have an epiphany later in life. I have a friend that's gone on to be with the Lord, Andrea Hall. She wrote the book, The Walk at Work. And she was actually my first client too, Random House book. And the the thing that she always says, you can have the car, career, and the cash. But if you don't have the fulfillment in your life, if you don't have Christ in your life, it is for naught. And I just always remember that. And so always be true to you. Do you, boo. That's how you live your best life you deserve. That's how you live the life you deserve. That's how you live your best brand by doing you, standing on it, being full power in it, unapologetic about it, and really just understanding that you're here for a purpose, for a season, and make a difference. That's it. So I'm Pam Perry, Pam Perry PR. Please go to my website, go to pamperrypr.com, download the ebook. It's pamperrypr.com/ebook, and download my ebook. It's called How to Get Out There and Get Known. It's 100 and something pages. Study it, learn about it. The things that I teach in that book have really transformed so many people's lives. So do that, and then know that um, I'm here. If you need me, PR, marketing, branding, that's what I do. And if you have a message you want to share with the world, definitely my program, Ready, Set, Go, Speak, will definitely help you get there. All righty. God bless.